Thank you. Thank you, my dear friends, Speaker Paul Ryan. Thank you, governors, senators, Congress representatives, members of Congress across the board, across the parties. What a wonderful celebration of America and Israel friendship. Thank you, Ambassador Dermer and Ambassador Friedman. Thank you, our many, many friends in the Knesset, beyond the Knesset. It's a pleasure to address you from Jerusalem, the eternal, undivided capital of the Jewish state of Israel. Now, why do I say Jerusalem will never be divided again? Because I remember what it was like when it was divided. Now, I start with a confession. See, I was born in Tel Aviv. But at the age of 2 days, because the circumstances didn't allow at the time for ready medical treatment, my mother decided to give birth to me in Tel Aviv, but immediately we went up the hill to the city on the hill, divided, wounded, besieged really. Besieged in the sense it was enclosed from all sides. And that's where I grew up. First in the suburb of Talpiot, which was in the southern part of the city. And I remember my mother telling me, it must have been 2.5, 3, she said, "Bibi, when you leave the house, you can't go right." Stop laughing. You cannot go right. You can only go left. Because if you go right, you hit the Jordanian barbed wires and the minefields and the snipers. And then as I grew up in this city, there were places we couldn't walk because there were snipers on the walls. And they shot occasionally Israelis. It was a wounded, divided city that had no future. And then on the 5th of June, I woke up to a resounding noise in my home in Jerusalem, and I climbed up on the roof, and I could see the bombs bursting in air. No, they were bursting on the ground right behind us. These were shells fired from Jordan without provocation. And many, many shells fell on Jerusalem. Many were killed. We were in shelters, some of us running between the shells in the streets. That's what you do when you're a little short of 18. And then we heard in the shelters Colonel Motagul say, "The Temple Mount is in our hands." And it was like a lightning bolt. I can't describe it any other way. And right after that, there was a hole that was pierced in the ramparts, right near where the municipality is. And I remember just this spontaneous flood of people, of Jerusalemites, me among them, flowing through that gap, going through the alleys of the old city. One alley after another, one alley after another, and then we reached the wall. And I touched those stones. We have a common saying, the Rock of Ages. I was touching the Rock of Ages. And everything was coming from those stones through my fingers to my soul. Abraham and David and Solomon and our prophets and the Maccabees and the ages of dispersion and torment and the ghettos of Toledo and the ghettos of Warsaw where Jews prayed Next year in Jerusalem, next year in Jerusalem, a call of salvation, of return, of redemption. This is King David. This is Jerusalem, as old as our nation. We came back. We reunited the city. We felt an elation that I think is millennial. I know is millennial. And then we proceeded to do two great things. The first thing is we ensured that Jerusalem was a free city for all. That's the first thing that we did. We made sure that the holy sites of Judaism, of Christianity, and Islam were available to all, unfettered, untouched. This is something that can be appreciated in retrospect because look around us. Understand what would happen to this, it's not even a square kilometer. What would happen to this less than a square mile if we weren't here? It would descend into horrible sectarian violence. It would descend into the worst barbarism that the world has seen since the outrages of World War II. We'd see mosques blown up, churches blown up, synagogues blown up. But we don't see that. We see that in this great convulsion that is taking place around us, there is one free city where Christians, Jews, and Muslims are free to worship undisturbed, and that's in the free, united city of Jerusalem. And that's how it will stay. Oh, and there's another small thing that we did. We guaranteed the freedom of religion, but we also guaranteed the freedom of markets. We sort of instituted free markets, not sort of, in Israel. And guess what? It's changing Jerusalem. A few weeks ago, a small company called Intel bought a Jerusalem company, which is a few hundred meters from here, for the tidy sum of $15 billion. And it gave this company the keys to handle all their worldwide autonomous vehicle businesses. So I can definitely say that Jerusalem is driving the world in more ways than one. But this is a benefit that accrues to all our residents, and we want to see this innovation, this genius, this entrepreneurship spread in our region to bring prosperity and peace. We are deeply, deeply indebted to you, our American friends, for supporting us. We know that you understand in substance and in spirit our quest for redemption. We know that you understand that the story of Israel, in many ways, the rebirth of Israel, and our return to this land and to this city, I think you understand in your hearts that this is a parable for all humanity. Because if the Jews can overcome the worst travails in history, that means there is hope for all humanity. I want to thank you for this brilliant gesture, and I want to tell you once again, America has no better friend than Israel, and Israel surely has no better friend than the United States of America. Thank you all, from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.